everybody, welcome back to hauolipuatarot. Today I have a pick a card reading for this next week that's going to be starting on June 28th. I do not have my calendar on me at this exact second, so it's June 28th through July something. I will put it in the description box and the title. So sorry guys. It is early here, but I woke up and I was just like, yes, it is time to do this, because I try to wait till Spirit calls me to do the readings, and I've tried to be like, I would like to do a weekly reading, and so here we are. It woke me up this morning and it was like, it's time, and I said, okay, it's time. So here we are. Let's go ahead. I'll dive right on into the collective reading. So diving in this next week as a collective, we're slowing down a bit. There's been a lot of, I don't know if you guys have felt it, but there's been a lot of chaotic energy lately. I've been looking for someone to sink my teeth into the last few days, which is very, very out of character for me. I'm not usually super confrontational, but there's been something in the air this week with Neptune going retrograde, Venus going direct, Mercury retrograde being in swing. There's been a lot going on. So this next week, we're slowing down a little bit. There's so much water energy. We've got Hina, which she's sitting on the moon. Let me see if I can bring this up close. She's sitting on the moon, just relaxing. This is a card of courage, the courage to slow down, which is something that I need, especially, like, I know I talk about myself a lot, but it's just so much easier for me to relate my messages with the stories. I don't know. But having the courage to slow down. Look, she looks nurturing and relaxed, and so does this Queen of Pentacles, this mental space, feeling really good in your physical world. And then in your physical world, we have the moon, which is truths being illuminated, very Neptunian energy, very watery, very much things coming to the surface for you that require a bit more nurturing, things coming to the surface that you've been needing to face. And so you're asked to have courage this week. You're asked to stay grounded. You're asked to tap into your independence. Really channel this joy. This is the Otter card. I'm going to bring it up here. Let's see. Focus, please. This is the Otter card. Slide into joy. Oh, sorry. And that's an advice card for this week. To really focus on the things that bring you joy. Focus on the things that help you feel grounded, nurture those things. And then we also have the Larimar, which is slow your roll, which is, again, very much, there's been this energy of just go, 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 go. And I know there's still some to come. There's a lot of astrology that indicates there's still a lot to come for the rest of this year. But this week is a really good time to tap in and ground and nurture the things that bring you joy. That's what we've been doing this whole retrograde period though, right? Like really finding the things that fit our value system, that fit where we want to go in life, that fit our dreams. And we're having the courage to slow down, to really nurture the things that are coming to light, to really work through these things that are coming to light for us, and to move forward with the things that are meant to stay. So I really feel like this is kind of a week of nursing those wounds of whatever lessons we've learned during this period. And so I feel like it's a good week to really focus on what makes you happy, focus on what puts you on the path towards your goals, focus on what fulfills you, what gives you this sense of strength and independence in your spiritual realm, because that's going to be what will move you forward in life, help break whatever stagnation. And sometimes that takes courage, and sometimes that courage is being willing to slow down enough. And I know that sounds crazy, but I have a lot of people in my life who must be on their devices 24/7. I'm very close. The other day, I got this app that I realized I was on my phone almost 10 hours a day. And I was like, Jesus Christ, that's no good for me. So I've started putting my phone down and slowing down. And in doing that, that leaves you a lot more open to the thoughts you've been avoiding, the things coming up that you didn't really want to see or look at. And for a lot of people, they can't handle the slowness. They can't handle the quiet. And it's not necessarily their fault. We've been programmed as a society to be busy. That busy equates productivity. But that is not true. And I realized the other day, I have complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Complex is different from regular post-traumatic stress disorder because complex is, it's like complex anxiety versus generalized anxiety. Usually, post-traumatic stress disorder, just PTSD, is from a specific event. Complex post-traumatic stress disorder is from a prolonged history, like a traumatic childhood. And my family was great, but there were a lot of things in my life that have consistently traumatized me. I'm not going to get into it right now because that's not important. What is important is I started to realize that a lot of my friends have similar issues. And I started to realize that maybe it's just the society that we're in and the speed and productivity and the more and the more and the more we demand from each other and from society as a whole. We're always progressing. We need more stuff. We need more this. We need more that. If you're not working, you're not worth anything. That's not true. None of that is true. And we are awakening to these illusions that we've been taught. And we are learning to master and heal our traumas. Cognitive behavioral therapy. I'm going to be talking about this so much coming up. Like, there's going to be a lot of videos about mental health practices to help yourself stay grounded, to help yourself align spiritually, because mental health, spiritual health, and the body, hand in hand in hand. All three connect to each other. And my area of specialty is mental health. I've been dealing with it for my entire life. I've been in therapy since I was 8 years old. I've been in counseling since I was 8 years old. I've been on a bazillion different medications my whole life. Like, I realized as I grew up, what came to light for me was that the insane path my life has been on is exactly what's given me the tools of life to help other people. Because I have all the tools that I got from those, and I can share them with other people. Does that make me a licensed counselor? No, it doesn't. But if I'm able to share tools that I've received, mindsets, practices, I think that's really important because it could help other people. And so we are all waking up to similar things. We're all waking up to the fact that the world was going too fast for our natural flow, and that we're being called to slow down and really set into place this new way of being. Have the courage to slow down. It's important because right now we're all just moving too fast, and otters are fast, man, but not that fast, not all the time. Even otters rest, even otters laze in the river. Like, we are one with nature as well, and we have to learn to be able to slow ourselves down enough for that. And I really feel like this week, a lot of people are awakening to that fact. A lot of people are applying that to their lives. And a lot of people are really going to find if they resist, they're going to be forced to slow down. So let's go ahead, hop right on into these readings. I'm going to scoot all the collective readings out of the way, and then we'll get started. We've got groups 1, 2, and 3 right here. I'll go ahead, get these moved. Go ahead in the description box and Mercury. In the description box down below, I'll leave the timestamps for each pile. Go ahead and click those, and I will hop you right forward to your reading. welcome to your reading, group number 1. I am so excited to see what the week ahead has for you, so let's just jump right in. All right, I'm going to move these. Boop. We've got, your crystal is fluorite. Sharpen your focus. I'll go ahead and leave that turned, and I'll turn it if I need it. Hell, rebirth. Ooh, yep. Not surprising. Grow your truth. Again, not surprising. And then we've got 9 of Swords, the Magician, and the 7 of Swords. These are a little bit smaller of spreads this week. I just felt called to go a little smaller. Kind of let the message flow a little bit. So let's see. We've got sharpen your focus, and I can see in your mental space there's a lot of anxiety. So you may be feeling some anxiety. You may be mentally like, I don't know what to do. Grow your truth. Know your truth. Really ground yourself. In the 7 of Wands, hold your boundaries. Stand up for yourself. You are the magician. You're really coming in to these new abilities, to this rebirth. And I think that may be giving you some anxiety, because I've had a lot of friends actually lately awakening to their gifts, and it can be sort of jarring when you first awaken to gifts. It can be scary. You can experience things you've never experienced before in a way you've never experienced before, and that can be a lot. Like the first time I really felt something, because I can't see things. I don't have the second sight. My third eye is open. I see things, but not spirits. I can feel things though, very powerfully, like very, very powerfully. I can feel things. And when I first started having that, it scared the shit out of me. It scared me. Oh, sorry, I cussed. I cuss a lot. I'm not gonna apologize for that. I'm not sorry. Anyway, it gave me a lot of anxiety, but I was empowered because I was growing into my truth. Rebirths are hard. They're not always easy. They take work and they take focus, and you're asked to sharpen your focus, sharpen your intention on setting these boundaries for yourself. Really make sure that you are standing in your truth. But when you're standing in your truth, make sure you're actually seeing from a higher perspective and not just down here thinking you're speaking your truth. I'm going to go ahead and get a couple clarifiers about these tarot cards, just because I feel like we could use them. So I'm going to get my Anima Mundi tarot deck. I love this deck. She was my first deck that I bought for myself, or that my sister gifted her to me. But I told myself when I felt like I could truly read tarot for other people, after I felt I had learned well enough, that I would get this deck for myself so that I could use it. And for my birthday, about 10 months into me learning tarot, I finally, this was last October, 10 months into me reading tarot, and I don't read every single day, but I read every single day to practice, and it got overwhelming, but I learned a lot, and so I bought this deck. Oh my goodness, the shuffling just sent cards flying. Woo! Okay, we'll move you over there. May we please have a clarifier for this 9 of Swords? Mental anxiety. What's going on over there? Worry, stress. What are we worried about? What are we stressed about? Because probably this rebirth, because rebirth is hard, and you're really focusing on this new transformation and standing your ground, and sometimes that's hard. Sometimes, if you've been a really passive person who didn't know your truth and did not feel empowered before, coming into that is really, really scary. Coming into that, you feel like you're overreacting to everything. Coming into that, you really, I'm going to adjust this just a hair. Oh my gosh, that was more than just a hair. Sorry, guys. But when you first come into big rebirths and seeing your truth and seeing yourself like this, it's not always easy, because sometimes you realize stuff about yourself that you are not proud of. But then you also realize stuff that you are proud of. And remember, you are asked to focus on joy in the collective reading. If you didn't listen to that, quick summary, the whole wonderful thing about this week collectively is that we're all being asked to slow down and focus on our joy and where we're going. You are empowered. You're on a new route right now, and you're really asked to focus on that. Focus on what's making you happy. Focus on what's empowering you. Focus on growing your truth. Sharpen that focus. I'm pretty sure. No, that was Larimar. Duh. Sorry, for some reason I was like, I'm pretty sure that's what was being said earlier. So let's see what we've got for this. Oh yeah, seeing through the illusions. Okay, yep. You're going through a big rebirth, and you're seeing through a lot of the illusions, and let's be honest, a lot of the illusions that we're all seeing through are giving us a lot of anxiety. Or you've got a lot of choices to make. There's a lot of things to choose from in this new path through this rebirth. A world of options seems to have opened up for you, and you just don't know what to pick. So let's get a clarifier on this Magician. The World. You have reached the end of that cycle. You are empowered. You really are. There's the end of a cycle coming for you with this new empowerment. And then the Seven of Wands, putting in the work. Or Seven of Wands. On the Seven of Wands is the Eight of Pentacles. Putting in the work. Really getting down to work. So maybe in your workspace, there's some boundaries you need to hold, and that's giving you some stress because there are some things you can't quite see, things you're not quite sure about. There's some choices needing to be made, maybe in the work department. Maybe you are looking for promotion right now. You're ready to grow. You're ready to rebirth into a whole new part of your life. Maybe you're ready to build something new, but you're really not sure what direction to go. Maybe you're trying to... I feel like you're at a point, you're at this end of the cycle, and you're really anxious about what comes next. I feel like that's really... Oh, back of the deck energy. The Magician. You are empowered. You are stressing out about this decision. So if you're stressing this week, what you should really focus on is that joy. Listen to that collective reading. I know I blabber on for a very long time, but it is helpful. It is, I promise, because we are all part of the collective and we are all individual. And combining the collective message with your individual message is super helpful sometimes. That's why I do it. Well, it's helpful for me, and I intend it to be helpful for other people as well. That is why I do it. But here we have all of this beautiful energy. But you're in your mental space, you're just stressing. You're stressing. You can't, there are lots of choices. You feel like there's a lot of illusions, but you are empowered. You know your personal truth. You are rebirthing yourself into your truth. And maybe that's what's got you nervous. Maybe you're like, who is this person? Is this real? Can I trust this? Let me see. Let me see. I really feel like the answer is yes. I'm not even going to clarify because the answer is yes, because you immediately have the Magician and the Seven of Wands. The end of a cycle. You've reached the end of that cycle. You are rebirthing. It is true. And then you're putting in the work to setting your boundaries. There's something at work, progression at work. Something is going on for you where you've reached the end of your cycle, and I think you're just really anxious about what comes next. And this next week, you're asked to just go with the flow. And I say that again because of the collective reading. There was so much water and ground energy in it. Ground yourself in your truth, because then you'll be able to see clearly. Because once you know your personal truth, what things to nurture that lead you on this path that you're on, you'll be good as gold, my friend. Good as freaking gold. Group number 1, this is a really beautiful reading. I hope you liked it. If you did, leave a like down below. That lets me know that you want more videos like this. Go ahead and leave a comment. I'd love to hear about it. Does this resonate with you? Have you seen it coming? Just let me know. I'll see you guys next time. Group number 2, thank you so much. or group number 1. Oh my gosh. Mercury retrograde is really coming for me right now because I am filming this in the midst of it. Actually, I'm filming it the morning that it's getting posted, hopefully. Because, like I said, I really try to wait till Spirit calls me. And Spirit didn't call me until this morning. Group number 2, welcome to your reading. I'm so excited to dive in. Group number 1 had a really fun reading, and I'm excited to see what's in store for you guys. Okay, so starting, we've got Kunzite, open up your love channel. Ooh, 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 love channel. And then we have Divine Feminine. Oh, more love, more nurturing, more. And then we have You Are Worthy, the Tabby Cat. Ooh, some self-love coming in. And then, oh, whoa. Some of you may be finding out you're pregnant. And I only say that because you got Ace of Cups and the Empress and Divine Feminine and Open Up Your Love channel. And you may be hermiting away because right now, pregnancy with this coronavirus, you really want to be extra careful, don't you? That is just for a few of you. It's also on my mind, truthfully. We've been going through some stuff. But anyway, looking at this reading, it is full of nurturing energy. Like, the collective reading talked about it a bit. But, like, you are nurturing the crap out of yourself. You are opening up your love channel. You're tapping into that divine feminine energy. You understand your self-worth. There's so much self-love here right now. Mentally, you are overflowing with joy and happiness. Something happened for you, I feel like, during Venus retrograde that just unlocked your heart space. Because here we have the Hermit, which is usually about being alone, but also just about spiritual introspection. Looking in at yourself. So you're really nurturing yourself. You're nurturing other people. You're really unlocking a lot of big, beautiful things for yourself, group number 2. There's this sense of flow, I feel, because there's water here, here, here. And then she just feels very flowy. It's like she's on a cloud to me, which is, again, very floaty, very flowy. There's been some illuminations in your life of your self-worth. I feel like that might have been what you were dealing with during Venus retrograde, group number 2. Hold on, I'm going to close my window a little bit more because I just realized the fan outside had kicked on for the AC unit. But I feel like you've been doing a lot of introspection, a lot of looking at yourself over this period of time. And this next week, you're really realizing your worth. You're opening up to that. You are coming into this overflow of inspiration mentally, and you're able to start nurturing those ideas. You're starting something this week, or the ideas are overflowing this week for something new to grow that you're going to be nurturing. This is a really fertile time for creative projects. Because a lot of the reason why I don't share creative projects, this is a creative project. This is the first one that I've shared this consistently with other people, especially when there's not many people to share it with at this moment. And someday there will be. Someday there will. But if you felt that way, where it was hard to share your creative gifts with other people, you're really starting to see the value in it, and that your gifts are of value. Like, a lot of people get jealous. I used to get so jealous of people who have second sight. People who can hear the spirits. People who can do that. And I used to be jealous, and I used to feel like I wasn't worthy to read tarot for people because I don't have those gifts. And then I started introspecting in on myself, seeing my own gifts and nurturing them. And boom, just stuff started to overflow for me. Stuff started to get much more abundant, much happier, much more creative, because the feminine is a creative energy. I always consider the divine feminine like the artist, but like the painter, the poet, and the divine masculine more of the sculptor, more the physical. And so I feel like there's a lot of it's like this, I just picture like painting by a river and like just being really creative and really feeling inspired this week by things around you. Let's go ahead and get some clarifiers on these. May we please have a clarifier on, oh my gosh, it just flew right out. Oh yeah, a new spiritual awakening for you, group number 2, and that is inspiring you. Something new has happened for you spiritually. These realizations that you found over in this hermit are inspiring you. They're filling your cup. They're overjoying you. And the Ace of Wands is also, again, a pregnancy card, in my opinion. And so I really do feel like some of you are finding out you're pregnant. Some of you are getting pregnant. Some of you are finally realizing that you're ready to expand your family, your situation, whatever creative endeavor you are on, because I also consider, you know, being pregnant a very creative endeavor. You're creating human inside of you. It's wild. But I really, like, it's just real strong for some of you. This is not for everybody, because I know that, like, this is a collective reading, but that's just coming through real strong. And it was coming through strong in a reading I was listening to the other night. They were like, and I was like, everybody's been quarantined, especially during Venus retrograde, and things are popping now. Everybody's grounding in those retrograde lessons, and that may mean manifestations of some kind that are fertile, some kind that inspire you, some kind that help you grow more. Let's get a clarifier on this lady. What's going on with the lady? What's going on with the lady? Oh yeah, a whole new way of being, answering the call, a rebirth. This is rebirth in a lot of decks. And maybe, I'm just going to say this because it's there. Maybe some of you experienced a loss in the pregnancy department, and your spirit is coming into rebirth. And remember, these are intended for this next week, but these are also sort of timeless readings. Whenever you find this for the next week that's coming is what it's intended for, but like, I don't control Spirit's timeline. You'll find this when you find it. But for other people who it isn't pregnancy, it's answering the call to your new creative gifts, to your new divine inspiration, to your self-worth. You're waking up to that. And because you're waking up to this self-worth, you are cultivating this fertility around you. And that's because you are living your authentic truth. You are standing in that authentic truth, and you're nurturing yourself through the fear of that, because there's this sense of like, oh, I want to be alone because I don't want to show my voice. But look, oh my God, another Ace of Cups. Oh, there's so much baby energy in this. Sorry, I've got baby brain, and when I just see Divine Feminine, the Queen, 2 Ace of Cups, there's just so much here. Moving forward, this is a time when you got that divine inspiration. You had it spiritually, and it grounded into your mental space, and it's moving its way right on down, because the fertile ideas, the overflowing of creativity, the overflowing of joy and inspiration from your spiritual world moves down to your mental world, which inspires this new start, this new movement, because the Ace of Wands is both spiritual and a physical world card. It's not material like the Pentacles. It's like fire, movement, like a divine masculine energy. So the movement, like the sculpting, and that sculpting moves into the body, which is fertile with ideas, which is growing this new project, answering the call to this new worth. You are worthy of what you are pursuing, group number 2. You're worthy. And then you have this divine feminine here. Absolutely beautiful. Group number 2, you are answering the call for something new that has inspired you. And it's come from your spiritual realm. It's come from that introspection. You have unlocked your divine feminine side. You've unlocked your heart chakra, able to fully love, accept, and know your worth. And because of that, it's almost like you had a block in your heart chakra going down towards your root. Because energy goes both up and down. Like the cycle's up and down in us. There's energy constantly going up and down our spine, like our chakras at the same time. One is us ascending ourselves, and the other is us downloading messages from our crown chakra. So it's like the progression I told you about. Spiritually, up in your crown chakra, you got this inspiration. And it moved down into your mental space because that's how it goes. And then it inspired you to take action in your physical world. And that's resulting in this fertility and responding to the call of your being. You've got aces and major arcanas. This is a very big, very beautiful, very love-filled new beginning for you, be it spiritually, be it for some of you pregnancy, for some of you just feeling better about yourself, realizations about yourself that bring about this incredible bout of self-love where you feel truly free to live and express how you are. Look at all the star energy. Look at all these moons. Look at it more. Very spiritual, very joyful, very serene, I want to say. Group number 2, your week ahead is very filled with love. I'm so excited for you. I wonder what the back of the deck energy is. Death. Incredible. You've gone through this. This is your energy. You're going through this transformation. You've gone through this transformation, and these insights are coming in. This may be the week you get this understanding. This may be the week you find out you're pregnant. This may be the week you finally click in the understanding of all these incredible things for yourself, group number 2. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for tuning into this reading with me. I'm going to go ahead and jump into group number 3. If you liked this video, leave a like down below. That lets me know you want to see more. And then also, if you want to leave a comment, let me know if this resonated with you, if it didn't resonate with you. Either way, thank you so, so much, group number 2. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week. Thanks so much. See you next time. Bye. Hey there, group number 3 at 3333 timestamp. I love synchronicities like that. I absolutely love them. So let's go ahead, hop right into your reading, group number 3. So first things first, we've got Awaken Your Reptilian Nature, Serpentine. Let me take a second to read this. I'm going to hold it up. If you'd like to pause the video and read it, go ahead. Oh, it's time to let go of tired beliefs and get stuck energy unstuck. It's an invitation to rip off the proverbial band-aid and regroup. Hit the sauna, sweat it out, and release all lingering drama. That makes a lot of sense. I've seen a lot of that going around. Balance. You need to let go of that drama. You need to balance yourself. You need to make sure that if you're engaging in something, it is because it is true. Appreciate the process. Beautiful. And let's look at your tarot. Oh, yep. Yep. You've got a lot of... Oh, whoa, we are way out of whack. So sorry. Let's get us moved where you can see me properly. Me, the cards. Oh. Where do the cards end and I begin? Just kidding. Okay, so you got to balance. Like, there's something that you may have been avoiding. Like, the Seven of Cups is very much about choices, very much about lots of choices, very much about illusions. Then this is in your spiritual realm right now. So I feel like with this Neptune energy, you may be struggling to stay balanced right now, because Neptune is in retrograde bringing so much clarity to situations that you're being asked to really engage with that. You're being asked to balance it. You're mentally coming into a strength that helps you balance all of these. Oh, it's also about lots of choices. So maybe you've got a lot of choices ahead. Let me flip this over for you so you can see the crystal. That feels more fun for you. Anyway, sorry. Oh, my brain, it's all over today. Much like Mercury retrograde. Anyway, the Seven of Cups is very much about choices, illusions, like not seeing this cup over here. Like, there's this cups. You can't see that. That's too far away. Okay, there's this cup right here, and then all these cups here, and you're not seeing this cup. So I think that you are being asked to rip off that proverbial Band-Aid and take a sit down and really ground yourself. Look at your reality. It takes strength to do that sometimes, because people have a hard time facing their realities, I find. And it's sad because, well, it's not sad. I get it, because we're human. We all have that issue of sometimes we don't see things. Sometimes we don't understand things. Sometimes we're blocked by illusions or overwhelmed by choices. And we're asked to take the strength to balance ourselves, to get ourselves righted in our minds and in our souls so that we know. And then you have this appreciate the process, which is the cow and bull. And that's very much like the hard work. So I feel like you're in the midst of something that may not be the funnest. I feel like I'm just going to say it. I feel like for some of you, you're waking up to some illusions that are a little shocking for you, and it's requiring you to stay balanced. Or some of you with this retrograde are having trouble seeing clearly, there's a lot of just like mental clutter or like disillusionment in your spiritual realm that's trickling into your life, and it requires some mental strength to reprogram your mind to stay balanced. And reprogramming your mind is something in cognitive behavioral therapy where you take your negative mindsets that are harder to deal with, that make, heavy labor, and you reframe them in your mind. You look at them from a different perspective, like switching, because the Two of Pentacles to me and balance are about understanding. To be balanced, you understand both sides. It's a very Libran energy. I'm a Libra. It is almost annoying how I can sit there and debate over an issue for years and years and years because I see both sides. That may be something you're going through this week, is you can see so many different sides. There are too many valid choices on all sides, and you're being asked to try to balance it. You're being asked to see from all the different perspectives the best you can, and that will help give you the strength to make these decisions, to make these choices. This week you're asked really to rip that Band-Aid off and use your inner strength to find that balance. Because the more you don't want to look at something, the more unbalanced you get. And so what I would suggest, group number 3, is working on that retraining your brain. Because retraining your brain and refocusing your thoughts gives you a lot of mental strength to achieve this balance in life. Because even when you're spiritually all messed up, if you've got the mental strength to at least be like, okay, this is overwhelming for me right now, but I need to handle these things, and that's okay, that gives you the strength to handle those things, to balance those things. Group number 3, I feel for you. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of choices to balance, or there's a lot of new things coming in and a lot of choices to be made about things you like, and you're trying to decide which to do. So this could be dreams, opportunities coming in, because Seven of Cups is also about like dreamy illusions. Well, dreams. And let me tell you, maybe you have a dream that's coming in and you're required to balance it with the life you currently have going. But let's get some more clarifiers. That's what I've been doing. Shuffling the clarifier deck. Sorry. Should have told you, but I figured you'd know what that sound was. So let's see. Strength. May we have a clarifier for these cards, please? Oh, yeah. Okay. Strength. Oh, Ace of Cups. This is a beautiful card. It's come out quite a bit. There's been a lot of focus on your joy. Focus on what makes you happy. If you didn't listen to the collective reading, I would highly suggest it, just because it was all about slowing down this week to make sure that you're nurturing the things that bring you joy. So lots of joy. Oh, yes. Oh, so I feel like you've been going through, and then the back of the deck is the Eight of Swords. This makes total sense. You've been going through a spiritual awakening. The illusions have been dropping. What you thought you knew, you're just like, wow, how did I believe that? And the realizations you're coming into, because the Tower is always scary because it is ripping away the foundations of what you know. But with this Eight of Swords as the back of the deck energy, and then all this positivity, to me that says you are either going to come into an understanding, or you are already in an understanding of expanded spiritual ideas that help you feel balanced for this time. Or maybe whilst you are going through this and feeling trapped and confused, tapping in to your mental inspirations and channeling in, balancing, doing the things that make you happy, focusing on the things that make you happy, balancing it with this anxiety you're feeling in the spiritual realm, and that will help ease you through it, group number 3. Really focusing on your joys, focusing on your inspirations helps you to break free of this mental prison that you've gotten in. Because I do see you're going through a spiritual awakening, and there's these memes online where it's like cute pictures of like these cute happy people, and it's like what I thought spiritual awakening would be like, and then people who just look beat to hell, and they're like what it's actually like. And it's very true. But that doesn't necessarily mean in your physical and mental realm the same thing is going on. And I think you're being asked to balance that, to remember that you are both a spiritual being and a physical being, and you exist as both at the same time, but both are functioning for different purposes. Your spiritual self functions on a much more eternal timeline, whereas your physical self focuses on this lifetime. So your physical self could be experiencing things that are very positive, very good, but that could be changing your spirit. And so spiritual awakenings aren't always super scary. They aren't always super bad. Sometimes they're just a little overwhelming. And group number 3, I really feel like you're coming into a spiritual awakening. A lot of illusions are being dropped. You're breaking free and you are finding balance. This breaking free of this old spiritual gunk is giving you mental strength and inspiration to balance and pursue the things you enjoy in your life. Just like I said, shifting your perspectives, going from mindsets and belief systems that hold you back and realizing that those aren't real. Breaking free of the things that held you back spiritually, and it brings you into this new sense of balance, into this new thing. And if you've been denying it, if you've been trying to avoid it, rip that Band-Aid off, or the universe will rip it off for you. You have to make the choices. This is all changeable based off your free will. This is just the current energies. So you have to make the choice, group number 3, to really find out how to balance this. And that is by fostering the things that nurture you and bring you joy and fulfillment. That's what I should say. That's the message. Okay. Focus on the fulfillment, because not everything that's bad for you is bad, or that feels bad is bad for you, and not everything that feels good is good for you. Jessica Lanyadoo, amazing astrologer. I reference her all the time with that because it's just so freaking relevant right now for everybody. And that is what I feel you are going through. I feel like some of you feel like these new awakenings and these new realizations and these new comings are bad. Like you're like, oh, these suck. This feels scary. Let's shift your perspective. What doors is it opening up for you? What do you want to do next in your life? Focus on that. It's very easy to ruminate on the loss. It is. And it has been a time of transformation. But I am seeing this as much more spiritual. So it's sort of like when I went from being like, I'm a Christian, when I realized that I did not personally believe Jesus had to die for my sins, but I believe he is one of the most revered and valued spiritual teachers of our time. That was hard for me because I grew up Latter-day Saint, which is Mormon, and realizing the expansiveness of my personal spirituality was scary and hard. But once I actually just accepted it and started being like, well, okay, maybe it's not, well, what happens if I follow this path? I found so much strength and resilience and inspiration and balance in my life. But I didn't necessarily fully have to abandon those beliefs. I just shifted that perspective. It was still there because Christianity still exists, but my spiritual perspective of it shifted in a way that just shocked me because of the way I grew up. And I broke free of mental constraints that I'd given myself based off of that, and sometimes the gatekeeping practices of organized religion. And I found my personal freedom and balance. I just keep coming back to this card. I really just feel like this is you, group number 3. Look at her. Balanced, relaxed, in tune, in her emotions, but not drowned by them. Empowering herself with them. Using them to give herself life. She's a freaking mermaid, man. She's adorned herself with gifts from the sea. Like, balanced, really coming into these gifts. And I feel like that's you, group number 3. That's you. You got to rip that Band-Aid off, whatever it is. You are coming into big, beautiful inspirations in your mental field. Balance and compassion and joy in your physical field. But it all comes from shifting that perspective, ripping that Band-Aid off, because sometimes it's hard to accept when you discover a gift. You're like, I don't know if I believe I have this gift. Well, Spirit will show you. It will be undeniable for you, group number 3. That's it for you. If you liked this video, leave a like down below. That lets me know you want to see more just like this, or maybe not. If you have any video requests or suggestions for types of readings, I would love those. I'm always trying to come up with them, and I try to let them be divinely inspired. But if people are looking for something that's also divinely inspired, I can, so if you have suggestions, leave them in the comment box down below. Till then, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much, group number 3.